Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going deep on AI and all the hype.
Yeah, it's everywhere you look, right?
Seriously, everywhere. But we're going to try to separate fact from fiction.
Exactly, and we've got some awesome insights to help us do that. We're looking at work from Eric Siegel.
Oh yeah, he's been around forever, right? Like decades in the AI world.
Seriously, he's seen it all, and he's not afraid to call out the BS.
Which is what we need, honestly.
Totally, because, you see these headlines about AI revolutionizing, well, everything.
Like robots are about to take over.
And generative AI, stuff like ChatGPT, it's writing poems, coding, even having conversations like a person.
It's wild. But Siegel's point is, hold on a sec, it's not a magic solution.
Right, it can't just fix every business problem overnight.
So that's impressive, but
There are limits. Siegel actually uses this word hallucinate to describe how generative AI sometimes just makes things up.
whoa, hallucinate. That's intense. What's he getting at with that?
It's not like, seeing things, more like it's really good at manipulating language, predicting what word comes next. So it creates text that sounds real, but it doesn't actually get the meaning.
Gotcha. So it's all style, no substance.
That's a great way to put it. Siegel says this human-like output can be super misleading.
Makes sense. I might use ChatGPT to write an email, and it looks good, but I still got to proofread carefully.
Exactly. Not exactly the robot revolution we were promised.
Right, so big wow factor, but
We need to be careful about thinking it's the answer to everything. And this is where it gets really interesting.
okay, lay it on me.
There's another side to AI. Siegel talks about predictive AI and its massive potential.
Okay, so how is that different from, the ChatGPT stuff?
Predictive AI is all about data, predicting future outcomes, not creating content.
So less about writing poems, more about crunching numbers.
Exactly. Think customer behavior, market trends, stuff like that. And one of the coolest things is its autonomy.
Autonomy. You mean like it can work on its own?
Yeah. Siegel's a big fan of this idea. AI making decisions without us having to babysit it every step of the way.
Okay, now that is interesting.
Right. It's where things get really cool. So, ready for a real-world example.
Hit me with it.
Picture this. UPS, they've got to plan delivery routes for millions of packages every day.
Talk about a logistical nightmare.
Seriously. But here's the kicker. They don't even know about all the packages until late at night.
Wait, so they're planning routes without even knowing all the stops?
It's crazy, right? Like planning a road trip with only half the destinations.
So how do they even begin to do that?
Predictive AI to the rescue. They use algorithms to forecast the next day's deliveries.
So they're like guessing where packages need to go?
Kind of. They use the data they have and historical delivery data to get a fuller picture.
Filling in the gaps based on past patterns.
Exactly. Now, sure, some predictions might be off a little.
But it's better than flying blind, right?
Way better. This system saves them a ton of time, fuel, and money.
Okay, that's impressive. But how much are we talking? Is this small potatoes or?
Oh no, this is huge. This system saves UPS an estimated $350 million annually. And on top of that,
Wait, there's more.
big time, all those optimized routes, they also significantly cut down on their carbon footprint.
No way. Saving money and the planet.
It's a win-win. Pretty compelling argument for predictive AI, right?
For sure. But is this just like a fluke, or are there other areas where it's making a difference?
Oh, it's everywhere. Finance, healthcare, you name it. It's working behind the scenes, making things better.
That's wild. All this cool stuff happening, and we're over here obsessing over ChatGPT.
Right. But Siegel has a point. He's kind of sounding the alarm about this generative AI craze.
Yeah, he even compares it to like a hype bubble. Like those times when everyone gets excited about something and then
It fizzles out. Yeah, we've seen that before. Lots
the
of
dot-com bubble, the early days of the internet, all that.
Exactly. So much hype, but the real potential takes time to emerge.
So is he saying the same thing's going to happen with generative AI, that it's not going to live up to the hype?
That's his worry. While it's amazing, he thinks we're getting ahead of ourselves.
I get it. It's easy to get swept up in the sci-fi fantasy of it all. Machines that can create, think, almost be human.
Totally. But Siegel's message is clear. Temper your expectations, people. Focus on the real-world applications, not the robot overlords.
Right, because at the end of the day, it's a tool, not a magic wand. And we need to use it wisely.
Couldn't agree more. It is. It really is. And, generative AI, it does have the potential to change things. But Siegel's point is, let's not go crazy just yet.
Yeah, I mean, who hasn't seen those headlines? AI is going to take all our jobs, the robots are coming.
Right, total panic. But, we've been through these tech hype cycles before. Remember when everyone thought VR was going to be?
Oh, yeah. Like everyone's going to be living in virtual world.
Exactly. And what happened? Not quite what we expected?
Well, not yet, at least. But maybe AI is different. I mean, it's already doing some pretty amazing things.
It is. But Siegel's argument is we need to be smart about it. Don't just buy into the hype blindly. Look at the practical stuff,
So what's he suggesting we do? Just ignore generative AI completely?
No, not at all. It's more about being realistic, Focus on the real problems it can solve. How can it actually make our lives better? That's the so what factor.
The so what factor, I like that. Not just, wow, that's cool, but okay, what can we actually do with this?
Exactly. And that's where predictive AI shines. It's already doing so much good, quietly working in the background.
You were talking about all these real-world examples like in finance and healthcare.
Yeah. Think about it. Banks using AI to catch fraud before it happens. Doctors using it to personalize treatment plans.
That's incredible. It's like having an invisible assistant helping us out.
Exactly. And the crazy thing is, most people don't even realize it's happening.
They probably just think, oh, my bank is getting really good at this, or my doctor is super smart.
Right. They don't see all the complex algorithms and data analysis that's going on behind the scenes.
It's like the unsung hero of the tech world, quietly making things better without all the flashy headlines.
Exactly. And that's why Siegel's so passionate about it. He wants people to understand the real potential of AI, not just the hype.
It's about looking beyond the surface and seeing the bigger picture, the practical applications, the tangible benefits.
Exactly. And that's where we need to focus our energy. How can we use AI to solve problems, to make the world a better place?
So it's not about man versus machine, it's about man with machine.
Exactly. It's about using these incredible tools to augment our abilities, not replace us.
And who knows what amazing things we can accomplish while we work together. I mean, that's pretty inspiring, right?
It is. It's about finding the right balance, embrace the potential of AI, but don't lose sight of our own humanity.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of AI, what's the key message you want our listeners to take away?
It's simple, really. Stay informed, stay curious. AI is constantly evolving, and it's up to us to stay ahead of the curve.
Don't be afraid to ask questions, challenge the hype, and always remember to look for the so what factor.
What's the real impact? How is it making a difference? Those are the questions that matter.
That's a great point to end on. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI.
My pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious about the amazing world of technology. So before we wrap up today, I want to leave you with something to think about.
Oh, like what?
Well, we've talked a lot about generative AI versus predictive AI, right? So
Right.
now that you know the difference, I want you to kind of start paying attention to how AI is being used in your own life.
Oh, I like that. Like a little experiment.
Exactly. See if you can spot it.
I bet people would be surprised by how much predictive AI they encounter every day.
Oh, totally. Think about those personalized recommendations you get online.
Oh, yeah, like on Spotify or Netflix. Totally predictive AI.
Yep. Or even something like spam filters.
Keeping our inboxes clean.
Exactly. Predictive AI, hard at work.
It's everywhere. I bet even those traffic apps.
Oh, for sure. Predictive AI is the backbone of those.
Figuring out the best route, predict your traffic jams.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it.
It is. All this complex tech working behind the scenes and we don't even realize it.
So yeah, the challenge is just to start noticing it. See if you can spot those AI-powered systems out in the wild.
And then think back to what we talked about today.
Is it generative or predictive? Is it living up to the hype or quietly making a difference?
Those are the questions to ask. It's about understanding how this tech is shaping our world.
And remember, this is just the beginning. AI is only going to get more sophisticated, more integrated into our lives.
It's a wild ride, for sure.
It is. But that's why we got to stay informed, stay curious, and keep learning.
Absolutely. That's the key takeaway here.
Well said. Thanks so much for joining us today on this deep dive into the world of AI.
My pleasure. It was a great conversation.
Until next time, keep exploring. And remember, the future is full of possibilities.